I'm going to be doing mine. If we do yours.
Anything for the public.
Exactly. That's where the work has been done.
802, Madam Moderator.
I'd like to call the Branford Representative Town Meeting to order. I'd also like to first welcome to the dais. They were not here at the organizational meeting necessarily sitting here, but we have our Majority Leader, Dan Edelman, from the 4th District, and our Minority Leader, Victoria Verderam, on my left. And also our clerk is here, Ray Ingraham. So if we could stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call for a moment of silence in memory of Victoria's mother, who recently passed unexpectedly. Thank you. Go to the approval of minutes. We will, oh, I'm sorry.
Took my job away. Freudian slip.
Mr. Clerk, would you kindly call the roll?
I sure will. Representative Adams.
Here.
Representative Edelman.
Here.
Representative Delphone. Not here. Representative Anderson.
Here.
Representative Bonenberger. Here. Representative Brooks. Here. Sorry. It threw me off. Representative Dayhill. Here. Representative Averson.
Here.
Representative Greenberg. Absent. Representative Gorman. Here. Representative Hartwell.
Here.
Representative Healy. Present. Representative Henschel.
Here.
Representative Hines.
Here.
Representative Ingraham here. Representative Jennings.
Here.
Representative Kelly.
Present.
Representative Larson.
Present.
Representative Reska.
Here.
Representative McCall.
Absent, told me.
Representative McCormick.
Here.
Representative Murray.
Here, sir.
Representative Papalizio.
I'm here.
Representative Sharkey with the kids. Representative Shrestha.
Here.
Representative Schumro.
Here.
Representative Sullivan.
Here.
Representative Toohill.
Here.
Representative Verderam.
Here.
Representative Waterman.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next on the agenda, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting, October 8th, 2025, and also the special meeting, October 30th, 2025. This is of the 2023 to 2025 RTM, so members, if you were in attendance at those meetings, you were eligible to vote. If not, you should just abstain. I don't think we'll need that, but
Motion to approve both sets of minutes.
motion made by Representative McCormick. Is there a second?
Second.
Representative Hartwell, Representative Henschel.
Yes, Madam Moderator, I'd like to make a motion that we amend the October 8th RTM minutes. I'll give you a copy of the wording, but basically, I think both the call and the description should more carefully align with what the committee actually acted on and voted on in the end. So my suggested reading is that To consider and if appropriate, recommend amendments to the Town Code, Chapter 190, Parks, Greens, and Recreation Areas, Article 3, Sections 197 through 190.14, to recharacterize the Parks and Open Space Authority. Originally, it said committee, which was incorrect, as a chartered open space commission, and originally it just said commission without the words open space. That was the call. And then the actual minutes of the meeting itself. Rules and Ordinance Committee Chairman Peter Henschel stated the committee heard the matter on September 16th. The committee unanimously voted to recommend changing the authority's name to the Open Space Commission and making additional small amendments to this ordinance as requested by the authority. He put that forward in the form of a motion. The full RTM voted unanimously in favor in a roll call vote. So I'd just like to make those changes so that it more reflects exactly what was done.
I withdraw my original motion and make a motion, well,
You can leave it there. We can act on the amendment
We have to-
first. And then
that, yeah.
Yeah, he has an amendment, so
Okay.
we need
Yeah,
to
that's why I was doing
vote
it.
on the amendment.
Oh, yeah, I'll second the amendment to take care of the seconding.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain?
Abstain.
Thank you.
Now we can vote on them.
So I need to also, I would like to, oh, I can't do that, can I? Can I make the correction? Well, I was an RTM rep then in this meeting. The minutes on October 8th say the letter from the Board of Finance Chairman, it's Joe Mooney, not John Mooney.
Madam Moderator, I'm sorry. We approved his amendment,
Yes.
but we still have the motion on the floor to,
No, she
Actually, what's being
withdrew.
requested is to do another amendment.
Another amendment.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, on these same minutes. And these, on the number 2, it says it's the requesting that Jefferson Place, not Jeffrey Place.
Okay. So I'll make the motion to amend the 10-8 minutes to reflect changing the name to Joe Mooney and correcting the name of the street from Jeffrey Place to Jefferson Place.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Now we will vote on accepting the minutes of October 8th as amended. Everyone, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'll get the language.
Yeah.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Extension. It's an awful lot of notes for minutes.
I think Richard put his hand up too on there, on the abstention.
Right.
Representative Jennings put his hand up on the abstention.
And now the special meeting of October 30th, 2025. Any corrections or changes to those meeting minutes? No? All those in favor of accepting the meeting minutes as submitted, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Extension.
Brooks, Bonberger abstained. Brooks is-
And Sullivan.
Sullivan and Jennings.
The 5 new members. 2 on the Republican side.
I didn't see that, yeah.
I would like to make a motion, if possible, to add to the agenda the meeting minutes of the organizational meeting of 11/18/2025, and also the special 4th District meeting minutes. These were circulated to the entire RTM by the town clerk, Lisa Arpin, prior to our meeting. It did not make it onto the agenda, but if there's no objections, we'll take those under consideration as well. So somebody has to second that motion.
Make a motion that we add those 2 meeting minutes to the agenda for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Representative Hartwell, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
The usual, okay.
But you were present at these meetings.
Oh, you were there, yeah.
Yeah, these are the organizational meeting. Now we've moved on to the organizational meeting.
The one you attended.
Yes. So,
Just note that only the 4th District votes on the one,
yes.
because of people
So
are confused.
this vote is on the meeting minutes of the meeting, or the organizational meeting on 11/18 of 2025. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That passes. And now a vote on the 4th District meeting minutes. Only the 4th District representatives are eligible to vote on these meeting minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I don't know if Representative.
They're adopted.
Gorman got that.
Yep. Okay, now we'll move on to correspondence. We have a lot of correspondence that has come in. One of the first letters is a holdover, really, from our last term meeting. It came in late, so it was re-referred. The request came from the current First Selectman, Josh Brooks, that it be added to our agenda. It is a letter and a petition from resident Kurt Johnson requesting that Jefferson Place be deemed a town road. It's lengthy correspondence. I'm going to send that to Rules and Ordinances for their consideration. Also received a letter from Richard Shanahan, the chair of the Branford Open Space Commission, to all the RTM members. It was also circulated prior to this meeting. He notes, I will summarize, he notes that the Board of Finance at a special meeting approved the purchase of the acreage, the undeveloped property located at the southwest corner of the Supply Ponds Preserve. The property is comprised of 3 separate parcels, which are adjacent to or surrounded by the supply ponds. Purchase price is $195,000 and would be funded from the town's open space fund. He notes that the Supply Pond Preserve is a very important and significant resource to the town. The number of visitors utilizing the trail system has increased significantly, especially since the pandemic. As more land is being developed for housing and commercial purposes, the acquisition and preservation of the remaining undeveloped lands becomes more urgent, and he urges that this body vote in favor. We also received a letter to some of the RTM members from our former Representative Adrian Bonneberger. He's written a letter asking that the First Selectman Brooks' proposal offering a solution for qualified senior residents of a tax freeze be looked into, suggesting the town could offer a financial incentive, certainly on their property taxes, essentially a recognition for their spending a significant portion of the productive part of their lives paying property taxes in the town and contributing to its prosperity. Obviously, a lot of details to be worked out there, but that will be also sent to Rules and Ordinances. Today, I also received a letter from the chair of the Branford Conservation and Environment Commission, writing on behalf of that commission that in favor of the purchase of the Kinney property, as it is commonly referred to, and urging that we vote yes for it. It would mean the eastern part of the Coon Ledge system of rocky ridges and the associated wetlands that are a significant feature of the Supply Pond watershed. This is noted by Heather Wells Sweeney, asking again for voting in favor of the Kinney property purchase. Also received was a letter from the Branford Fire Marshal, Robert Dubazinski. He is asking that the fire department, for 2 different ordinances to update. The fire department is now utilizing a computer-based report software, aimed at getting greater compliance in a timely fashion for inspections and reports, and also will help notify businesses and also keep his department up to date. So it's just some language updates that need to be made, and he's made suggestions in his letter. And the other portion, the other ordinance he's asking be updated is the standards for private fire hydrants. So this will also be sent to rules and ordinances. Did any other correspondence come in? I didn't receive anything. Okay. Number 5, to consider and if appropriate, approve a transfer request from the superintendent of schools to reappropriate open capital balances as follows. From I'll just read these out. System-wide door replacements, JBS architectural study, system-wide boiler replacements, system-wide door replacements, BOE security system, building fire code compliance, JBS interior painting, office administration technology, INS boiler replacements, 21st century AV system and school tech, facilities master plan, facilities equipment, system-wide door replacements, furniture, technology equipment, for a total of $128,558, and it is being transferred to building code fire compliance for $87,306, security cameras and equipment, $32,327, and system-wide roofing repairs of $8,925 for a total of $128,558. This matter was heard by the Education Committee. Chairwoman Shahida Sumro is recognized for her report.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. The meeting was called to order 7:04 p.m. Monday, December 8th, Branford Community House. Approval and transfer request. Superintendent of the school. The committee reviewed and voted on the superintendent's request to reappropriate capital balances. Capital balances total $128,558. Proposed capital available balances after reappropriation usage for replacement classroom, unit heater, parking lot improvements, system-wide roof repairs, security cameras and equipment, tennis court seating, BHS roof and skylight replacement, building fire code compliance, system-wide door replacement, facilities master plan, campus safety security upgrades, 21st century AV system and school tech. Superintendent Trenberg and Blaise Leviton provided additional explanation regarding the items and noted that requests are expected to increase in the coming year. They emphasized the need to address heating issues, specifically noting that one wing of Branford High School is currently without heat. Motion, Representative Greenberg made a motion to approve the reappropriation request, second by Representative Mariska, and passed unanimously. I put that in form of motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Sumro. She did. I don't need a second on that, do I? No. Nope. That's a committee report. Right. Any comments or questions from members of the representative town meeting? Any comments or questions from anyone in the audience? Call the question. All those in favor of this transfer, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The matter is approved. Number 6, to consider and if appropriate, approve a transfer request from former First Selectman James Cosgrove on behalf of East Shore District Health Department for fiscal year 2026 as follows. From contingency, $17,875 to environmental testing, $17,875. This matter was heard by the Administrative Services Committee. Chairwoman Nancy McCormick is recognized for the report.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. The Administrative Services Committee met on December 2nd via Zoom, and we spoke about the actual use for the funds. Mr. Mike Pascasillo was there from the East Shore District Health Department, and he explained the request in that it was for the testing of water, for the microbial testing and the water samples in the Farm River and the beaches, that it included Branford, East Haven, and North Branford. They initially had greater than a $100,000 grant, which they used that money, and they're not expecting any more federal money. The results of the testing in 2017, initially the testing of the water rated a C-, and then it went up to a C+, and currently 2024, I should say, it went to a B. So the motion was voted on in committee. It passed unanimously, and I put that in the form of a motion.
Thank you, Representative McCormick. Any questions or comments from members of the RTM? Any questions or comments from anyone in the audience? Okay. All those in favor of approving this transfer, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The matter passes. Number 7, to consider and if appropriate, approve a request from former First Selectman James Cosgrove to purchase 12 acres of land located on Chestnut Street and Brushy Plains Road. Resolved that the RTM approves an increase in the total appropriation for the fiscal year 2025-26 open space fund budget from $96,219 to $291,219. The additional appropriation will be funded from the open space fund balance and will be used to purchase 12 acres of open space. The open space fund transfer is an increase in the appropriation of fund balance, $195,000, and an increase in the transfer out land acquisition fund of $195,000. And there's a resolution resolved that the Branford Representative Town Meeting approves an appropriation of $195,000 in the Land Acquisition Fund. This appropriation will be funded through a transfer in from the Open Space Fund. So then there's an increase in the transfer in of $195,000 and an increase in the land acquisition of $195,000. I may have just repeated myself there. Is that correct? Okay. A little complicated there. This matter was heard by the Ways and Means Committee. Chairman John Hartwell is recognized for the report.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. This was heard in the Ways and Means Committee on December 3rd. And we had the Branford Open Space Commission Chairman, Mr. Shanahan, was there, made a presentation reiterating what he had sent to all of the RTM members. We also had a lot of input from the town. We had emails from Heather Wells Sweeney, who was mentioned already tonight, the chair of the Conservation Environment Commission, Julie Wagner, president of Branford Land Trust, Shirley McCarthy, the co-chair of the Community Forest Commission. We also had emails from Faith McGrath, Joe Mistragi, Greg Pretuck, and Monique Nimarich, and I hope that I pronounced everyone's names correctly. So the motion was that after the conversation, This motion was approved in committee 5-0, and I put that in the form of a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Any comments or questions from members of the RTM? Representative Henschel.
Madam Moderator, I would just like, before we have discussion and vote on the first resolution, I'd like to propose that we amend that resolution because currently it just says that the fund balance will be used to purchase 12 acres of open space with no specifics about what or where, which would basically, allow an open-ended acquisition, not specific to what we're hearing and going to be acting on. So I would recommend that at the tail of that resolution, we add the following. 12 acres of open space known as the Kinney properties and located on the land records as parcel numbers, and then the 3 parcel numbers are E05/000/001/00001. Second parcel is D05/000/003/00013, and the third parcel is E05/000/001/00008. So I think being specific about what we're purchasing or resolving to purchase is important, and I put that in the form of a motion.
I'd like to second that.
So that's amending,
That's amending.
Amending the resolution.
right. Does anyone want to be, any member of the representative town meeting want to be heard on this matter?
I'll second it, so we have a second.
It was,
Amendment. Was it? I didn't hear it.
yeah, it was
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Representative Hartwell.
Cool, thank you.
Just making sure that was the first part of that resolution.
Then I'll just ask who seconded.
Identify which
Yes,
resolution.
I think the clerk has it straight, where
I'll go
that
straight
amendment,
to-
but
I'll go
yes.
straight to Mr. Henschel right after.
Yes, okay,
Perfect.
It says,
okay,
ask Peter.
all right, okay. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The amended resolution is now before us. So any other comments, questions from members of the RTM?
Madam Moderator?
Yes, Representative Ingraham.
Thank you. Anytime that we can purchase property at a good price that's abutting any of our open space, we should be jumping on it. We've done it over and over again in the time that I've been here on the RTM, and it's been an easy process because it seems that all of us agree that way. So I'm excited about this property coming under the town. I think there's something with the land trust, right? Or at least it's coming under the town, and our open space people who do a great job will be handling it now.
Thank you. Anyone else want to speak? No? Anyone from the public wanting to speak on this matter? Yes, sir.
Step right up,
Sorry.
young man.
Yeah, just come up to the table if you wouldn't mind. Say your name and where you live in Branford.
My name is Richard Crosby. The Kinney property, one parcel of it, is in my driveway. Another parcel of it, I have granted a right-of-way to Mr. Kinney to access. And I currently have a right-of-way over the piece that's in the driveway, the smallest piece there is. And I want to make sure that the town, as most right-of-ways do, carry on to the next property owner will, in fact, grant me the same right-of-way that has been existing, and possibly more, because this driveway is a mess since 1955. The state never closed the property acquisition, the property entries to my property, and for all intents and purposes, left my property landlocked. So I am trying now to get a clearer right-of-way from Chestnut Street. We're talking about a piece of property that's maybe 100 feet before you get to my piece, which is 15 acres, bordering the longer piece of Kinney's property in the north section of the area. All my property is south of the watershed to the of what's called Coon Ledge outcroppings and rocks, and the water course to the supply pond would naturally would fall to the north. And so what I've got does not affect the watershed of the supply pond property. But I need to make sure, because I'm currently in negotiations with the state to get my driveway correctly situated on Chestnut Street, from Chestnut Street in. So can I get some assurance from the town that the right-of-way that exists now with Kinney will be forwarded and continue to be the same right-of-way granted to me from the town as it was by the previous owner?
What we are approving here tonight is the purchase of this property. The legal process that's involved, I would think, would involve deeds and also whatever right-of-ways, if those are listed in your deed.
And his.
In his deed.
And Kinney's.
So my suggestion would be to make sure that the town attorney and our current first selectman is sitting here listening to what was just relayed. This information was not related to us, but in terms of the purchase, all we're doing is appropriating the funds.
That's why I'm here.
Right.
Because
Thank you.
The property is shown, taxes are paid upon it, taxes are paid by me on my property, and I would presume, I just heard about this like 3 days ago, why the town attorney didn't reach out to adjoining property owners to let them know that this was coming. And actually, I would think that the town attorney, if you're purchasing property that's got right-of-ways through it, wouldn't you want to know that? So instead of appropriating the money before you go to purchase, wouldn't you like to know what exactly you're buying and what the covenants of it may be?
Representative Henschel?
Through you, Madam Moderator, to the gentleman, not speaking on behalf of the town, but just pardon?
You have to speak here.
Typically, if you have a deeded right-of-way on another piece of property that's recorded on the land records, that right-of-way cannot be taken away by a future transfer. It goes with the transfer. So typically you would, in your case, you would still remain and have that right-of-way. But I do agree that you probably should reach out and just, confirm that everybody understands what you have.
What I have and what you're buying, or proposing
what
to
we're buying.
purchase.
Yeah.
So,
Normal due diligence would divulge any right-of-ways over property that was being purchased. But
due diligence has a lot of overstated meaning, so that's why I'm here.
I would check it out, as has been suggested.
Well, you people already have that information. I'm sure you researched the property via the Kinney end of things, so you must know all the pros and the caveats to it, or somebody hasn't been doing their homework.
I can't answer that question. The current First Selectman, Josh Brooks, has raised his hand. Perhaps he could add some information to this discussion.
Good evening, Mr. Crosby.
Good evening, Mr. Brooks.
So what's happening tonight is just an authorization to fund said purchase of property. Before the property is purchased, due diligence will be done by the town attorney, a title search will be done, and in that case, when a title search is done, if there's a right-of-way, it'll be shown there, and those questions will be answered. But again, this body is charged solely with appropriating the funds. They're the last step of that process. They are not charged with purchasing the property. We can't 100% do our due diligence, or wouldn't do our due diligence on purchasing a piece of property until we have the money to purchase said piece of property. So once this goes through, then we will do some diligence. We will do a title search and those kind of things before, and I will call you if I see anything that needs to be addressed.
So in this instance, we're kind of putting the horse before the cart?
Well,
Cart before the horse?
one might argue that.
Appropriating the money, but we don't know what we're buying. We're agreeing.
Putting wheels on the
We're agreeing that we have the money to do so. Once we decide we have the money to do so, then we will, do that. It's not, we're not putting the money in a bag out on the corner. So if we decide we don't want to buy it, we just put it back where we got it.
Well, stranger things have been done,
I agree.
especially given current political scenario.
Well, Branford's not that.
I hope not.
Thank you both.
With that, I guess that's all I need.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else like to be heard on this? Yes, sir. Come up to the microphone, please, and identify yourself.
This will be a lot easier.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Gordon Hutchinson, Vice President of the Land Trust. I'd just like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on this topic.
Excuse me one second, Gordon, bring the microphone closer to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the opportunity. We just wanted to say that in speaking for the Board of the Land Trust that we favor this acquisition. The acquisition eliminates private holdings within the Supply Pond Preserve. It protects the watershed going into the Biscuit Brook and the Supply Ponds, allows for continuity of the Red Trail, which already traverses the Kinney property, protects the northeast ridge of the Supply Pond Preserve, protects the known areas of endangered wildlife species, and establishes access to the preserve from Highland Park. So for all those reasons, we're in favor of the acquisition. I hope we do this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to be heard on this matter? No? Call for a vote on this. I think we need a roll call, do we? Yeah.
Land acquisition.
Yeah, roll call vote.
Madam Moderator, are we voting on both resolutions at the same time or individually? There are two resolutions here.
How would you prefer it?
Together is fine with me.
Okay,
Vote all at once.
all at once,
Thank you.
one fell swoop.
All right, all at once. I like that. Representative Adams.
Approve.
Representative Edelman.
Approve.
Representative Anderson.
Approve.
Representative Bonneberger. Representative Brooks. Representative Dayhill. Representative Everson. Oh, sorry. Representative Gorman. Representative Hartwell.
Approve.
Representative Healy.
Approve.
Representative Henschel.
Approve.
Representative Hides.
Approve.
Representative Ingraham. Approve. Representative Jennings. Representative Kelly.
Approve.
Representative Larson.
Approve.
Representative Maresca.
Approve.
Representative McCormick.
Approve.
Representative Murray. Representative Papalizio.
Approve.
Representative Shrestha. Representative Schumrau.
Approve.
Representative Sullivan.
Yes.
Representative Toohill.
Approve.
Representative Verderame.
Approve.
Representative Waterman.
Approve.
Unanimous. Madam Moderator?
Unanimous approved with 1 yes.
Thank you very much. Unanimous approval for that item. Moving on to item number 8. To receive communications with respect to and consider and act upon a resolution entitled Resolution Authorizing an Appropriation of $10,800,000 for the East Industrial Road Real Property Acquisition and the financing of said appropriation by the issuance of general obligation bonds of the town and notes in anticipation of such bonds in an amount not to exceed $10,800,000. Therefore, the full text of the resolution is on file, open to public inspection in the office of the town clerk. If I could get a motion to waive the full reading of that.
So moved.
So moved.
Who was first?
Who was first?
Okay.
No,
We'll give it-
please.
McCormick first, I believe.
Yeah.
Hartwell second. Papalucio out.
Third base.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? We did receive correspondence from the Board of Finance Chairman Joe Mooney noting the passage of this matter at their previous meeting. This matter was also heard by the Ways and Means Committee, Chairman Hartwell.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. First, Selectman Brooks came to the meeting, and he asked that we re-refer this. Basically, he was saying that at that point, he'd been in office for only 2 weeks, and we needed more time to take a more thorough look at this proposal and see if there are other alternatives available, and if so, bring back to the committee, and then again to the RTM as a whole, what his recommendation would be. He's planning to do that in January. During the meeting, Representative Waterman raised 2 significant issues that we talked about in depth. One was, are there environmental issues associated with this property because this is a property that's been used for storing and repairing trucks. So it is a place where it's possible that there are environmental issues. So that's one issue. The second is this property completely suitable, or will there need to be further capital improvements made to it in order to retrofit it for use by Public Works as opposed to the current occupant of it, who's Freightliner. First Selectman Brooks said both of those are very important issues and will be looked at as part of his next steps. So we had the question to re-refer, and it was approved in the committee 4-1. Representative Healy was opposed. The other members, the other 5 members of the, or 4 members, of the committee were in favor. So I put that in the form of a motion.
So the motion is to re-refer this matter. Does any member of the RTM want to be heard on this? Representative Healy?
Well, I guess I'll just speak to it as to why I was just a no vote. Basically, as our first selectman just mentioned, this is basically putting our ducks in a row. This does not say we're buying the property. This does not say we are getting the money. This only says to the buyer that we are very interested in the property. And just, I don't see outside of the number how it's much different from number 7 that we just said. That we're just basically putting that forth. So to re-refer it, I just hope it doesn't push us too far into another time period where, again, we get into budget meetings and everything else that goes on at that point. Because this, again, is just, again, putting ducks in a row, saying yes to our town. You have the capability to take the money if you'd like to. And we've been over this for so long. We've been looking for a home for the DPW for a long period of time. We know the property that is and is not available in this town. It really satisfies a lot of needs. We will still obviously do due diligence on the environmental aspects of it, the cost of renovating a building that's already there. And again, as most of you probably read, you get a 70 to 80K kickback a year from CLNP from the solar panels that are on it. We have other debt coming off of our debt service by the time we go to purchase this. So for me, I hope we eventually do get to purchase this property. It will solve a lot of needs, but for right now, what's most important is just saying, what's wrong with saying, yes, if you'd like to get that bond, we're saying it's available to you. That's all this says. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Healy. Does any other representative want to be heard on this matter?
Madam Moderator?
Yes,
Thank you.
Representative Ingraham.
I'm also against re-referring this for many of the same reasons that Representative Healy presented. We have a good deal. We have something on the table. We can move forward and show good faith to the property owners. So I will be voting against re-referring.
Thank you, Representative
Madam Moderator.
Ingraham. Yes, Representative Edelman.
I would just like to point out that I think it pleases me that we have a first selectman that's been in office 2.5 weeks that wants to use prudence in the whole operation of this decision, and to address Representative Healy's point about not hoping that this doesn't get pushed out further than needs be. First Selectman Brooks was very adamant about that not being the case, about being aware of the timeliness of the matter, and stating in no uncertain terms he would be back to his desired date of the January meeting to address these issues. So while it can be framed as there's no harm, no foul in approving this, I think that the First Selectman using the due diligence and prudence to be forthright about needing more information over the overall project and looking into things that perhaps this body, myself included, are unaware of the different array of issues that need to be examined. In support of this motion, I'm quite pleased at the due diligence and prudence used by our First Selectman. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Edelman. Any other representative want to be heard? No? Any member of the public want to be heard on this matter? Okay, so the vote is to re-refer item number 8, this bonding of $10.8 million. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We better have a show of hands. Are you being this?
I can see, yes. I've got it.
All those opposed?
I guess I did get it.
Any abstentions?
Usual suspects.
It's on a roll call.
With the usual suspects.
Okay, the matter is re-referred. We also, item number 9 is to vote on the 2026 RTM meeting schedule. Everyone should have received, hopefully, a copy of that. Are there any conflicts or?
Tuesdays.
You prefer Tuesdays. Taco Tuesday, sorry. We'll have to have something else on a Wednesday. Wednesday, the RTM. Okay, so all those in favor of the 2026 RTM meeting schedule? Motion to approve by Representative Ingraham. Second by
Papalizio got it.
Papalizio. Representative Papalizio got in there. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, so we have we have any other business. Is there any other business? Yes, sir. Please come up to the microphone, identify yourself.
I like having my back to people, so if I turn around and look at you.
I'll warn you.
Good evening. My name is Stash Koneski. I have been a member of this community for 46 years. I've been a homeowner since 2010, and I've resided since that time at 17 Lincoln Avenue. I'm not up here at this time to take issue regarding the, how do I put it nicely, affordable housing, which is another word for low-income complex being considered in our quaint, cluttered, problem-infested area of town. But to briefly speak on that affordable housing proposal, otherwise known as low income, for anyone to tell me that they are not moving forward, they don't have plans, obviously hasn't read the email sent out on the last day of First Selectman Jamie Cosgrove's day in office. Selected was the word used, which means there was a process in order to select that. That was complete with drawings, renderings, companies involved, including a Branford 501c3 led by Marianne Amore, a former RTM member of my district. Add to that a company who has already been tapped to looking to developing that area, so much so to complete drawings and ideas on what to do with the Canoe Brook building and area. If those aren't plans or discussions that have been held, please tell me what is. So to tell me there's no plans and then to present that information is misguided and disingenuous. So let this stand as my formal request to be an intervener. Now, I understand you can't be an intervener until something's on the books. When that gets sent out, that's on the books because you've already tapped certain people to look into it and you've already provided drawings. So this is my request to be an intervener. I have a letter and I will present it as well. Moving on. For years, I have complained and made notice to numerous members of this RTM regarding the dilapidation of the 4th Ward. Sidewalks falling apart in the Lincoln Avenue Main Street area, grass overgrown, streets ripped up and not put back properly, and the poor overall appearance in that part of town. For instance, our road, Lincoln Avenue, looks like the inner city, spray painted different colors, mismatched and broken sidewalks, and uneven blacktop. Major construction has gone through all of Branford, including our roads, Lincoln, Cherry Hill, Cherry Street, Hopkins Court, fixed and repaired, but never back to the way it was. I'm unsure who's making sure that happens as supposed to be. I would ascertain that there are checks and balances in place so it's not put together like a jigsaw puzzle and made to look completely different than it was prior. But instead, entities ripped up our road to fix underneath issues, which is understandable, had it milled and repaved looking beautiful. Then these same companies came back, marked up the road with spray paint, and then because of their mismanagement and mistakes, had to dig it up again and left it with these temporary permanent patches all over the place, the complete opposite of the way they found it. Years ago, sporadic areas of our sidewalks on Lincoln Avenue were replaced, leaving areas mismatched completely. During that process, companies removed part of our front yards and driveways that have not gone back to the way they were. For example, blacktop was put down in front of our sidewalks where there once was grass and curb. Over time, if anybody knows about blacktop, it settles and sinks, creating a giant lip that presents a danger to pedestrians and homeowners. Another company the town hired cut 3 to 4 feet into everyone's driveway in order to replace some sidewalks. This created a gash in all our driveways that can't be sealed. For example, at my house, in winter, water seeps into these cracks and then freezes, creating an uneven surface. The town, under former First Selectman Cosgrove, came out and fixed my property once, owning their responsibility, but the problem persists. All that is done by the town of Branford or its agents and was never corrected and put back to the way it was prior. There are 3 town codes that were not followed. One is 216.8, that any leftover material debris shall be removed from the worksite and the site returned to a safe and presentable condition and in the condition to at least equal to the condition it was prior to the commencement of the work. That was not done. 216-9, the contractor shall be responsible to the cost to repair any and all damages to curbs, sidewalks, roads, and property of the town of Branford and adjacent private property caused by the contractor or his agents, subcontractors, their agents, and employees. That was never done. 216-10, the town may make repair or correction it deems necessary in the interest of public safety. What you'll see in your emails, I just sent all of you, are pictures of Lincoln Avenue. Picture it somewhere else. Tell me if you feel that's appropriate to where we live in this town. You'll see in front of one of my neighbor's house, and sorry I didn't have a computer to show you and go over everything. I have a disabled neighbor who has 2 crutches or 2 canes the way he walks. It's almost an 1.5 inch lip in front of his thing because they put blacktop instead of concrete down. Part of the sidewalks were concrete. They said halfway down, well, let's do partial sidewalks and we'll put blacktop. All that sinking. You'll see what it looks like. It's embarrassing for this town That's what the Fourth Ward has become. So pardon me if I think anybody is going to care about us when it comes to our concern about a giant monstrosity being built in our town that's going to directly affect our quality of life. We've already had significant issues in drain on town resources regards to the low-income state facility on South Montauk Street. Just to let you know, over the past 2 years, the police department has had to respond to 147 calls for service in 2024. So far this year, 197 calls for service to 115 South Montauk Street, low-income housing. That is think about this. If police officers are tending to one facility at that rate, there needs to be a clear understanding of the resources allocated from our town to understand it. As a department, and I'm a police officer, just to let you know, but I'm here as a citizen, we have a minimum of only 5 officers working per shift. Therefore, a call at that low-income building requires at least 1 to 2 officers. That leaves no less than 3 officers for the entire rest of the town. Calls can range from a couple minutes to hours. That creates a trickle-down effect in other areas and the direct safety of this town. The stats are right here. That's one hell of a drain of town resources. That should be a fact that members of this RTM and citizens of the town of Branford should know before any other buildings like this are erected in this town. To piggyback off that, I had a recent conversation with Mary Ann Amori, and I don't know if she's here. I don't know what she looks like, so I apologize. Okay. She advised me that if this does happen, the selection is a lottery process for Branford residents only. A lot of questions there, but specifically I asked her, are there going to be criminal background checks? And she told me, yeah. Curious on who runs those and the depth of which they go. But moving on. In this area I've discussed, we have significant flooding issues. Several houses have basements that flood. We are piggybacked or behind wetlands, roads underwater, and there's catch basins with poor drainage. We have significant traffic concerns, and you'll see on some of those pictures, you cannot fit down that road with only 1 car, and you're gonna add 11 houses with 20 to 30 people? Speeding, overcrowded, and overpopulated. Our road being used for major cut-throughs to Main Street and Route 1, fire department access, cars parked up and down on the side of Lincoln Avenue and Cherry Street because there's limited driveway space. Remember, that's an old area of town. Most places didn't have driveways back then. When I spoke to Mary Ann, she told me, don't you want to prepare for the future? The future of Branford is important. And I agree, it is important. I have 3 children. I've been here my whole life, but what Mary Ann tends to forget is that she didn't care about the future when it was brought to her attention in previous emails, one in July. She didn't care when she was represented when this area went overlooked and uncared for, and you can't care about the future if you don't deal with the present. The present are the taxpayers and citizens like myself who deserve and demand a voice when something directly affects the quality of life. And in the present, as well, we have an enormous vermin population in that area. East Shore Health said it's our problem, which is funny seeing that when the animal shelter moved to Canoe Brook building, they left animal food and feces outside, which restarted the rat population in that area. East Shore Health then opened a case and had to threaten sanctions against them if the problem was not cleaned up and stopped. You'll see in some of the pictures I sent you, still located in that Canoe Brook area is a giant trash pail filled with dog feces. And an email was sent to them letting them know about that. It's still there 2 weeks later. Now, that is town property that they are supposed to be representatives of our town, and they know about it. There's also a nice little black rat box over there, too, which shows there's an issue in that area. And let's be clear, this all started with improper destruction and containment of the MIF building, which everyone in this town is very well versed on. There's a reason why there's 10,000 black rat boxes around town structures in and near the center of town. So again, excuse me if I don't think the town of Branford and its RTM will actually care about our citizens in that area. The proof is in the pudding. The town has neglected that area of town, has done nothing to remedy these issues in years. So the main reason I am here today is, 1, so I can place a face with the name. I know there's representatives of District 4 here. I know your names, but I do not know who you are because I've never seen you. So if you raise your hand so I can know who you are, it'd be greatly appreciated.
See me, Stash.
No, yeah, I know that. I know you. I'm just saying, I don't know everyone. Thank you. Second is I'm formally requesting a meeting during this type of forum, so it's on record, of every member of RTM District 4 with their constituents that reside in the neighborhood of Lincoln Avenue, Cherry Street, Cherry Hill, and Hopkins Court in regards to what is trying to be built to cluster and destroy our quaint little area and the issues that I presented here today. Your job is to represent us. That's the entire point of our government structure. This is the town representative meeting. The individuals sitting here were elected to represent their constituents and their problems and to provide a voice that can hopefully affect change. The principal reason why I'm requesting this meeting is that some of you in our district do not follow through or even respond to emails or phone calls. So now I'm on record asking you to sit down with us and let us voice our concerns, and in turn, you echo our sentiments as our mouthpiece. I will send out an email tomorrow morning to set up a time with all of you to meet with a contingent of our area. I hope, I sincerely do, everyone responds. If not, I'll be back here next meeting. Mr. Brooks, welcome and congratulations. You have now heard my complaints and issues and those of other residents in this area. This is now your town, and these are now your problems. Feel free to sit with us in that meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you. Does anyone have any other business they'd like to bring?
Scott.
Yes. Come up to the microphone, please.
What? I know. I've been waiting for him.
I know.
It's long.
Just state your name for the record.
Good evening. Greg Geraldman, Pheasant Lane, here in Branford. Just a couple of quick things, both kind of educationally based. One is that, oldest point first, when the election took place, the top of the ticket of both parties each spoke about, to some degree, putting together something to address various BOE and district issues. The ones that come to mind, bullying, also better supporting teachers. There could be other things that could be relevant, and something where different approaches on moving the needle could be really relevant and valuable. I'd like to bring this to the attention of the RTM in the hopes that we can take the next step on that, whatever step that may be. Because now the people, one is a third selectman, one is a first selectman, and one is a minority leader right now. So, maybe this goes to a committee, maybe this goes to the office of the selectman, the three-person entity. I don't know, but the thought process here is to bring it to the attention, to get it to the next step and make sure it doesn't fall through the cracks. So that's number one. Number two of two, as many of you know, there is an issue going on pertaining to the election. It is now it is going to court. It's going through the legal process. It has had a tremendous negative spillover effect on the Board of Ed in terms of forming committees, re-electing or electing a new chair, et cetera, et cetera. And, I think this is something that warrants further, further awareness. And that's the reason for my second suggestion, is to make sure that that takes place. We've just had a new election, holidays, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of moving parts, new first selectman. It would just seem to me that even with the best of intentions, there's a lot of potential for something like this to fall through the cracks. And, when you look at, based on what's known, what is taking place, how it's taken place, and the involvement of one or more current town employees, and its net effect, I felt it was important to kind of come here before it was settled, because to me it doesn't matter how it's settled. It will eventually be settled. There will be a Republican candidate or a Democratic candidate that will eventually be elected to the Board of Ed. Right now, there are only 8 out of 9 possible members. But the issue isn't only about who's going to get in and who doesn't get in. The issue is about a process that seems like a great learning opportunity for greater awareness. And therefore, I bring it to the attention of the RTM. Perhaps this is something that the moderator will refer to a committee. Maybe this is something to refer to the Office of the First Selectman, the 3-person entity, maybe a recommendation from the RTM to the Office of the First Selectman. I don't know. But I come here with the idea of, let's do something because there's real reason to, in my humble opinion. And with that, thank you very much. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to those who celebrate.
Thank you. I will take that under advisement. The matter is in court. As I understand it, we are awaiting a judge's decision, and once we hear what the judge's decision is, that will likely determine whether or not this body takes that up. So, thank you. Right. I just wanted to clarify for the people that it is a matter that is currently in court, and we're waiting for a judge to make that decision as to who will be seated on the Board of Education as the 9th member. Any other business?
Motion to adjourn?
Well, I think we could all wish each other happy holidays.
Jingle bells.
And Happy New Year. And all those in favor of adjourning.
Congratulations to re-elected or elected newly as well.
You don't need that?
We are adjourned.
This program was brought to you in part through the support of the Town of Branford. Watch town meetings and other videos on demand at BranfordTV.org.